Preparation for a science or engineering experience comes in many forms. Sometimes staff prepare through training with coworkers.
What do you see it doing?
Other staff read instructions and background materials. Preparation also involves getting necessary materials ordered and organized. All these steps in advance of the actual experience allow the facilitator to be organized and confident about the overall process, making managing the participants as they interact during the experience less stressful. This supervisor helps her coworkers by practicing an oil spill experiment with them before they have to lead it with the children. She also provides them with the supplies to conduct the experiment at their individual sites.
Typically, each center has feathers, each center has yarn, things like that, but I did put together like a care package to send to them just to make sure. It's the worst thing you could do in a lesson is not have a material. You can have everything great, you could be the best teacher in the world to the kids, but if you're missing the feathers, you're missing the whole point of the birds and what will happen and how it weighs them down. So we wanted to make sure we were completely prepared for every lesson, and we just put together a bag. I gave it to everybody in their own center cubbies, and they had everything ready to go.
Turning like ink almost.
Yeah. Don't drop it.
Managing groups, big or small, there's always going to be distractions, and there's always going to be worries, like the worry about spilling oil, getting it on their clothes, getting it on the floor, because we're sharing space. We also don't want to ruin anything. That's always difficult. It's distracting when parents come pick up. That's just something that you have to get in the flow with. Parents are always going to come in and out. You know, if somebody needs something, they're going to come in and ask me a question, and you have to be okay with that. It's something that helps me is to have my outline of the lesson. I don't like to read it while I'm doing it, but if I have that small distraction, I'm able to look back and get myself back on track. Hopefully not skip a beat. Usually try not to skip a beat, but to be able to manage that is really just preparation. You want to know, ahead of time you're going to have at least 5 distractions. That's how I think about it. There's going to be 5 things that either go wrong or that stop you in the middle of your lesson, and you just have to be prepared for it. So having that line is great for that. Asking the kids if you forget maybe where you're at, so okay, let's recap, and then they'll get you back into it. It's honestly, it's preparation. It's knowing your lesson ahead of time rather than just reading it from a script. The weather got really bad and it started to rain a lot, so they couldn't do any more explosions.
Several frontline workers shared how important it was to read the materials ahead of time, to familiarize themselves with the procedures and the background science behind a particular activity.
I do a lot of looking over the notebook and doing a little bit more of my own research before each camp week just to make sure I know what I'm saying. I don't want to tell them wrong information ever. But most of the camps that I'm assigned this week are more elementary, or I have some middle school camps at the end. The last one I have is medical camp, and that one's a little harder. But I think most of it is not too far above what my understanding and knowledge, and I just do a little bit more reading and make sure I'm prepared to teach them the right information.
And I take the time to look and read through every single page of that curriculum.
It's really convenient. Like, it was so easy to just set it up and like set it out, and they were ready to go. It was great. So I didn't have to take time to like go get everything and then place it. Like, it was already all together. It was perfect. Even the book came with it, which was great, and the paper to like look off of like the lesson. It was great. It was really good, like having it all together.
Did you look over the stuff yesterday?
Yes, last night I did, and this morning too. Just to kind of like refresh what I learned yesterday, or what I read yesterday, and then I look over it this morning, and then I kind of just go off. Like, I'll leave the paper if I need it, but I try not to go off of it. So it's helpful to have it there. Yep, it's awesome.
Mentors happen.
One of the things when camp was planned out that I tried to do in terms of planning the camp was to make sure that I had all the directions laid out, all the materials laid out in terms of what would be needed for all the activities.
First is the group leader's job to gain knowledge in what it is the topic is. My first thought was like, oh my goodness, we gotta be teachers, we gotta make lesson plans and just prepare and just all this stuff that I'm not used to. And then it's like, it's sort of preparing me for my life also, because I have to be organized, I have to prepare.
83, is that what you said?
Look at the bottom of it. Do you see its little like antennas?
Yes.